are in the basement and we are going to be working on some bikes, and I'm going to talk to you about how we're going to be making this Super 73R better than stock and actually get it for free. I bought it broken and I got a pretty good deal on it, and I'm going to kind of do a price breakdown of all the stuff, and I'm gonna show you my plan on how we're gonna test some stuff. We're gonna see if it works. All right, so we're gonna do a price breakdown. We're gonna make a list of all the extra parts that are still good on that bike, so we can sell them on eBay and then or marketplace or whatever, and then we're gonna buy some parts off of eBay to put it back together and hopefully make it better than stock. I know I've done this before on my S1, which is here. The battery's over there on that seat somewhere. And we're pretty much gonna replicate that setup on here for now. Eventually, I do wanna make it a 72 volt. I wanna put an Onyx battery and stuff on it and make like an Onyx R per se. But I'm gonna show you this setup first. It's cheap, easy, and it gets you in the door. And let me set up the TV for this guy. All right, guys, so I wrote down kind of our budget plan here. So the things we're gonna sell off okay, so first of all, we paid $500 for a Super 73. Things we're gonna be selling off the Super 73, which I hope we can either make a little bit more or somewhere around there. I kind of went kind of sure value on these. If we can make a little bit more, we're gonna get this bike free, set up, running, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be a lot of legwork because there's some things that need to change, a little bit of risk involved with doing this, but if you're up for it, it's gonna work out for you. So first of all, we're gonna try to sell the rear wheel motor for like 400-ish. Might be able to get a little bit more for that and kind of put it on eBay for 550. Got it for sale locally. There's fees with eBay and stuff, so obviously there's a little bit of benefit selling locally. Battery, the shell, we don't know what's going on with it. It should work, but you never know. I'm trying to get $300 for that. Charger is $50 or so, maybe a little bit more for that. So the battery, I think $300 we should be able to get for it just as a shell. Maybe more if we can kind of get someone that knows a little bit more about it and sees it's easy to fix, can confirm it's easy to fix. Charger $50, probably a little bit more, but once again, we're lowballing this. Battery mount $100. They're for sale on eBay for 150 plus, 200 for some. So I think $100 is a sure thing. Controller, same, $80. They're for sale for like 120 or so. I think $80 should be a sure thing. Display, $50. They're for sale for a little bit more. I think $50 should be a sure thing. The throttle, if we decide to split that up, hopefully someone wants to buy like a bulk of these things together. Throttle, $20 or so. Now, what we're gonna be replacing it with. Now, I've already got the parts that we're gonna be replacing with, so I'm gonna go based on the price I paid for these. Now, we're gonna be replacing it with this 1500 watt eBay motor. These things go for $350 or so, and after taxes and stuff, you're at right around $400. So, comes with a tire and stuff. We're gonna be popping that tire off. We're gonna be keeping the Super 73 tires on, but we're gonna be using this motor. It's a 1500 watt motor. Comes with a controller. The kit comes with a controller, a display, everything you need except the battery. Now the battery, we're gonna be using a used battery on this, and I know there's some risk with buying used batteries, but we're gonna be taking the 52 volt battery off of this bike, which I got on eBay as well. So those two things, the motor kit, it's gonna be like $400, and the battery I spent $300 on after everything, so it's $700 in. That means that we paid $500 for the bike. We're gonna make back hopefully around $1,000. Then we have we made back $1,000. So sorry, we kind of recovered ourselves $500, which means that if we spent $700, we're gonna be getting the Super 73, and it's gonna be a lot faster. I mean, my S1 with the same setup is a lot faster already, so we'll see how this does, but that S1 with the same exact setup can do like pretty much 40 miles an hour. So I don't see a reason why this bike can't do 40 miles an hour. Plus, it's gonna look a lot nice, higher end. It's gonna have front and rear suspension. My S1 has a front suspension fork from Super 73, but not rear suspension. This one's got a little bit nicer tires. Aluminum frame is a little bit lighter, but it's gonna weigh more because of the, anyway. So Next, I'm gonna swap everything over and kind of put it together and show you how this all look together. And I mean, I get it. Super 73 setup is nice. It's convenient. It's easy, right? Like you get in it, you power it on, and you're set. You don't have to do any legwork to put it together, and it just works. And it's got GPS and things if you care about that. It's nice. It's got an app. This setup is not gonna have any of that. This setup is the controller controls everything. The motor is from eBay and it works pretty good. I've had people who ran these. My brother's got his. He's got almost 2,500 miles on his and it's still going solid. So I don't see a reason why that wouldn't work, especially because Super 73 has some issues with their motors too. It's not like their motors are like super bulletproof to begin with. But anyway, let me put this all together and then we'll take a look. We'll take this bike for a ride with the new setup and we'll kind of see if this is for you or not. Alright guys, so here we are. Here's the Super 73, taking out for a quick ride. Pretty much tidied up everything on it. Few things, I mean, cable routing is still to work on a little bit, but overall I'm really happy with it. Brought it out to the forest, take a little bit of a ride and just kind of test everything out. There are a few things we need to still work on that are a little bit of a bigger issue. But let me talk to you about them just so you know if you're doing something like this on your R, kind of what to expect. So one of the things that came up for me is the derailleur on my stock R was bent because this bike was crashed at some point. So I got an aftermarket one on Amazon, which works well, except lining this up, and it's not even the derailleur's fault. It's just the lining. I put a single speed cog on here because I wanted it to look a little cleaner, but realistically I could have left the, what is it, like 6-speed one that comes on there, and it probably would have worked better just because it would have given me a ring over here closer to line up with my sprocket. So this one's further in, which is fine, still clear. I still have clearance as far as the tire and stuff, but lining up that derailleur is kind of a problem. I took the shims and I played around with them. The only thing is if I make this side line up, that means I add more shims to this side, which means my brakes don't line up. So then I'm still playing around with that, thinking of some solutions for that. Let's see what else. And that's pretty much it. I mean, I was thinking of what else, but really everything, the placement of the controller I'm not too happy with. I want to put a box. I have a box I want to put down there, but I might need to cut the tabs off the controller where it usually would bolt on. But I'll play around with that later. It doesn't bother me too much, but I do not like, I think it's a little bit too exposed, but it's not that bad. I had my bottle opener, and this is the cable routing that I don't like. I did extend the cable for the rear wheel. I just need to route these inside of here because there's internal routing on the frame, and I need to pull that through and kind of route it. I just haven't done it. Pretty much the reason why is I need to pull everything out because the connector for the wheel is much bigger than, it's not much bigger. It'll fit through the hole, but now with other cables there already. So I need to run that first, then run the other cables, and it should work out fine. What else? Alright guys, so here we are as far as pricing goes. The rear wheel, I was hoping to get 400 for it. I ended up getting 360 on eBay, which isn't a bad deal. So I got a pretty good portion of the money back just from that. The battery had some issues. I don't know if I talked about it earlier. It's just one of the connecting prongs was kind of messed up. Nothing too big. Probably could have held off and gotten more money for it, but I ended up selling that and the charger for $332 after taxes and fees on eBay. So, you know, it is what it is. The controller ended up profiting like 57 bucks on it. Once again, I mean, I'm trying to just recoup. At that point, I'd already made the money back for the bike, so this is just more extra money, I guess. And then things I still have the throttle, the display, the battery mount, so I'm hoping that's like 170 bucks or so. We'll see how much we get for that. Then we have over here on this side, so we paid 500 bucks for the bike, made 750 back, so then we're roughly like $250 in profit. But then I did spend like roughly $700 on the battery and the motor to replace it, so that does put me back a little bit, roughly like what, $451 in that, I guess, or in a negative. But I'm okay with that. If I sell those couple things, I probably can get, you know, what else do I have? I have wiring, I have the battery mount, the display, the throttle. If I can maybe get 200 bucks for that, I'm like 250 bucks into it. And to be honest, I mean, I got a Super 73R, and I've still got my S1 that I took apart to put that together. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. I'm probably just gonna pick up another rear motor kit. I got some extra 48 volt batteries I can run on it. Just keep it as a spare bike. But to be honest, I don't really need a spare bike, so I don't know. I could sell this, get the money easily back to be back in the profit margin on that. But to be honest, I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. But just figured I'd share pricing wise where we were at after all this. So if you want to get something and you're willing to do some work, the main thing is this kind of only works when you're doing like Super 73s. As far as reselling, the resale value on other e-bike parts is not great. I mean, maybe aerial riders a little bit, but most e-bike parts used are not gonna bring in nearly as much as Super 73 stuff does. So yeah. All right, thanks for watching. Subscribe. More Super 73 stuff. I'm still recording a video about the van. Tell you guys about that. And I want to start building the interior on the van. I'm off work next week, so maybe we'll be doing that then. But like I said, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you later.